This is a tutorial on how to use mass land records. For the sample, I'm going to use 312 Range Avenue, Unit 2, you can see right here, for how to look up files on mass land records. Usually I use mass land records to find floor plans when listing agents don't put floor plans up. In this case, it looks like a detached property, but let's see what happens. Let's see if anything comes up. One way to look up properties on mass land records is through the complex name, the brickworks. The other way is through the address, 312 Range Avenue. But keep in mind that sometimes association is listed under a different address. In this case, I do know that there are other addresses here, like 318 Range. So we probably have to go through a few of the addresses before we find it. So anyway, we have the brickworks and 312 Range Avenue. So now we'll go to masslandrecords.com. And at the landing page, you're going to pick the county. We're in Cambridge, so that's South Middlesex. Every county area has a slightly different registry of deeds interface. So right now we're going to do this. South Middlesex does have one of the better interfaces. So first you go to search criteria. I'm not sure if this is recorded or registered land, but most properties are recorded land, so you start there. So if we start here, I could do name search for brickworks and see what happens. And it looks like they have it. 310 to 324 Range is the actual association address, it looks like. So now, usually to find the floor plans, the goal is to find a book and page number for the master deed. There's a lot of documents here, so I'm just going to start with a random deed, see what happens. So when you want to look at a document, there's two ways to do it. First, you click on it on the left side. On the right side, you have the option to view images, which will then pull up a separate window right here. The other way, it's a little clunky, but pay attention here, is to add to basket and just hit next, go through that, and then you go to the basket and you download the PDF. And you see here there's a download zip file. And you double click on that and that's your PDF. I use Nuance Power PDF, which you can download on Amazon or from the Nuance website. It's pretty much the same thing as Acrobat Professional, but it's a little cheaper. And when you look at the document, you can go down and see this is for Unit 310. Shows all the information about the property. And what I'm looking for is a reference to the master deed or the plans. Over here, you can see it references the master deed. I'll record in book 47186, page 515. Let's see if there's any reference to plans here. Usually there isn't. Nope, there isn't. So going back to the master deed reference, 47186, page 515. So search criteria, and we'll go to book search. And you type in those numbers, 47186, page 515, and that should get us to the master deed. Here we go. And over here, you can see these are all the related documents. In a huge association like this, there are going to be a lot of corrections and amendments. A lot of these can be based on development phases. A lot of large developments go in 2, 3, 4, 5 phases. And after every phase, they file the amendment to incorporate the rest of the new phase. Um, so anyway, I just want to see the regular master deed, see the original plans, add to basket, go to the basket here, and download the PDF of the master deed. It's loading now. I'm opening it up. And I think it's this one. All right. So here's the master deed cover page, and I scroll down. And let's see if there's any reference to the floor plans. It's a big document, so I'm going to pause here and come back after I find it. Okay, so I couldn't find anything in the master deed. So I went to the amendments, and in this particular amendment, one from 2006, I found the typical place where they list the plans. Look right here on the left, and it says see plan number 1464 from 2006. So we go back, and now we look up the plans. Search criteria, and plan search, and we're going to go by book year. Again, that was over here, book year search. So the book year was 2006, and the page or plan number was 1464. Let me show that to you again. On the amendment for the master deed, it was 1464, 2006. Again, for smaller associations, you'll see this usually on the first master deed document. For whatever reason, they didn't do it until later. Probably had to do with the phases I talked about. So we search, and we got the plan. Add to basket, and go to the basket, and now you see the plan here, and download as a PDF. And here you go. And this is a 5-page document. Let's see how many of the plans they have. Okay, looks like it's over here. So for example, in this particular situation, we're trying to figure out if 312 was near the railroad or not. Over here is a railroad, over here somewhere, and 312 is over here. So very far away from the railroad. Let's see if there's any other information on 312 here. This looks familiar. Yep, this is it. So this must be the floor plan for the 312 building. Right, that's it for that. Now we know how to look up plans, at least in Middlesex.